Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on culture and identity. In this video we're going to look at some of the research into black identity formation. Research into the formation of black identities in the UK has identified several key factors that influence this process. Firstly, the historical context. Historical experiences such as slavery, colonialism and migration have profoundly shaped black identities in the UK, with the legacy of slavery and colonialism contributing to the construction of racial hierarchies and stereotypes, influencing how black individuals are perceived and how they perceive themselves. Migration patterns, including the Windrush generation from the Caribbean and subsequent waves of immigration from Africa, have brought diverse black communities to the UK, each with its own cultural, social and historical background. Gilroy, in The Black Atlantic, examines the transatlantic slave trade's enduring impact on black identities, arguing that black British identities are shaped by a history of forced migration, cultural exchange and resistance, creating hybrid identities that blend African, Caribbean and British influences. Hall explores the concept of cultural identity within the African diaspora, emphasising the ongoing influence of colonialism and migration on black identities in the UK, and highlighting the fluid and evolving nature of these identities. Cultural influences from the African diaspora also play a significant role in the formation of black identities in the UK. Music, art, literature and other forms of cultural expression contribute to a sense of shared identity and community amongst black Britons. Cultural events, festivals and gatherings provide opportunities for black individuals to connect with their heritage and express their identities. Eshin and Sagar, looking at 5 centuries of the black experience outside Africa, highlighted the diverse cultural expressions of the African diaspora, emphasising the role of music, art and literature in forming shared identities and community bonds among black Britons. Gilroy, in After Empire, argues for a convivial culture in post-colonial Britain, where different cultural groups interact and blend and foster hybrid identities through shared cultural expressions. Les Back also conducted an ethnographic study which reveals how young people in South London create hybrid identities through their engagement with various cultural influences in music, fashion and language. And Henry explores the role of black British music culture, particularly reggae and hip-hop, in shaping identities and providing a voice for black youth. The process of socialisation also has impact on the formation of black identities, with socialisation within families, communities and peer groups playing a crucial role in shaping black identities. Family values, traditions and practices transmitted across generations contribute to a sense of belonging and identity amongst black Britons. Peer interactions and community networks also provide spaces for cultural exchange, solidarity and collective identity formation. Research into these areas includes the work of Tracy Reynolds, who looked at Caribbean families, their social capital and young people's diasporic identities. She discussed how Caribbean family structures and social networks will support identity formation among young people, fostering a sense of belonging and cultural continuity. Gunter, in 2010, looked at black youth road culture and badness in an East London neighbourhood. Gunter's study focused on how peer groups and community networks influence the identities of black youth in East London, often creating alternative cultural norms and expressions. Experiences of racism and racialisation significantly impact on the formation of black identities in the UK. Racial discrimination, stereotyping and microaggressions can lead to feelings of alienation, marginalisation and otherness among black individuals. The consciousness of racial identity and solidarity may also emerge in response to experiences of racism, fostering a sense of shared struggle and resistance. Bhavnani and Mirza addressed the pervasive impact of racism in the UK, exploring how systematic discrimination affects black individuals' identities and experiences of alienation and resistance. Whilst Andrews examined how supplementary schools provided educational support and cultural affirmation for black children, which fostered a sense of identity and resilience in the face of systemic racism. Gilroy, on the other hand, critiques racial essentialism and advocates for transcending racial boundaries, suggesting that identities are formed through shared experiences and cultural exchanges rather than fixed racial categories. Intersectional identities, including race, gender, class, sexuality and nationality, also intersect to shape black experiences and identities in complex ways. Black women, for example, may navigate many forms of oppression and discrimination based upon both race and gender, leading to distinct identity formations. Kimberly Crenshaw introduced the concept of intersectionality, illustrating how overlapping social identities such as race and gender created unique experiences of oppression and identity formation for black women. And Heidi Mirza explored the intersection of race, gender and class, highlighting the distinct experiences and identities of black women in Britain and their contributions to feminism. And finally, media representations. Media representations of blackness, both positive and negative, influence how black identities are constructed and perceived. Positive portrayals of black individuals and communities can contribute to a sense of pride and empowerment, while negative stereotypes can reinforce feelings of stigma and inferiority. Stuart Hall examined the role of the media in constructing racial and cultural identities, and how they emphasise the power of representation in shaping social attitudes and individual self-conceptions, whilst Malik looked at the representation of black and Asian individuals in British television, discussing how media portrayals influence public perceptions and the self-identification of black Britons. Overall, the formation of black identities in the UK is a dynamic process shaped by many historical, cultural, social and structural factors. The work of UK-based sociologists helps to illuminate these complexities and provide insights into the diverse experiences and expressions of blackness in British society. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on culture and identity, looking at black identities. Thanks for watching.